Welcome back, I'm your friendly guide in game development, and today we are going to explore the low-poly fantasy medieval village from Just Create. It's important to say that this video is not sponsored, and imagine that you could try the package for a few minutes and see what is inside to actually know what you really get from it. We will open the package, install it from scratch to see how hard it is to integrate into your project. I will give you my honest thoughts during the whole process, telling you what I think is good and bad, maybe showing you some details that you missed, some ideas on how to better use it, and finally an overall opinion if I think it's worth it or not. Let's dive into the asset start page to have an idea. This package is, as we can see, a better fit if you are looking for a low poly style in a maybe medieval fantasy-like game. And I can see that we have some environment assets including vegetation and trees. We also have good amount of different buildings. I see fences, barrels, we have a dock, boats, fruits, a medieval cart, a well, and overall a lot of things that we need to build a small village. And from this package we get 219 prefabs with a demo scene, ready to use in burp, HDRP and URP. The package was released in 2020 and the last update was in 2023, but honestly, I see no problem with that since it's a 3D environment package, so basically what you see is what you get. I don't see a lot of reviews, but one funny thing that I noticed is that a user called JWolf said really good things about it and used it in a video, and if you open the video, it's from the Odin package channel. Really cool that they liked it. Now, the first thing that we need to discover is how much of a setup is needed to use this package. I say that because there are a lot of packages where, as soon as you import, the console storms you with error messages. And to be honest, this is a huge turnoff for me. This is mostly because we have different pipelines and also because of possible breaking changes between unit versions. With an empty project, what I like to do is a cleanup. And by cleanup I mean opening the package manager and removing package by package what I know won't be necessary for our lab. And another thing that I've been doing in all of my projects is adding Phantom Navigator, because I want to have all my one-shot scripts ready and avoid wasting my time with Unity menus. Finally, let's start importing the package. I opened the package manager, found our package and imported it. This step is really important to me. I really want to see my console with no errors. Perfect, no errors, this is what I wanted. Now we have this low poly fantasy village folder in our project. And usually in a bigger project we want to put imported files under a plugins folder or a third-party folder, but here we are just testing things. And the first thing that I see when I open the package folder is those two HDRP and URP files. When you click them, it will import all the necessary files to make it work for the pipeline that you are using. And in the future maybe we'll have only one pipeline and things like this will become a thing of the past. I'll double click on the URP asset pack and import everything that is already selected. Okay, now the first thing is to open the demo scene so we can take a look on what we have. And I want to get a higher view. So let's get to a high view of the entire thing and see what we have. And as expected, I see the village and the island just like we've seen in the preview. And the first thing that is bothering me here is the lighting. Actually, not the lighting, the shadow is too dark. So it's kind of hard to see the details, and since we are going to go for a full analysis, it's good to have a better view. So I'm going to select the directional light here and reduce the shadow strength. But it's still too dark. I'm trying to change a few values here and tweak. But I think it's not good enough. So the next thing that I want to do is to grab our directional light and duplicate it and adjust to a direction that will help us to see more details. Let's see here. Okay, I think we're getting close to it, but it's too strength. So I'm going to reduce the strength here, because it's still still shadows, right? So we want to work with shadows. So let me grab back my game view and reduce the strength. And I think this is fine. Now we can have the details, but we still have shadows. I noticed the ground is a simple green plane, and this is fine for what the package is expecting. But I cannot lie that I think flooding the ground with a grass texture could have a huge impact. Another thing that I like to do is to check if the doors are separated objects. This way we are not stuck with a static door and we can animate things like players and NPCs going into and out of the buildings. And having a correct pivot is one less step that we need to worry about. So I think everything is fine. Actually, this is really nice. I checked different buildings here and they are all separated. And going in the same direction, I also like to click on the building objects to see how separate they are as well. If it is a single piece, it means that we can drag and drop quickly to get the final result, but we can't modify much. And here in the demo, we can see that the buildings are single pieces, but later I checked in the overview scene that we also have modular modules for walls, roofs, windows, and more. So here we have both options. I think it's another point here. For example, if we take a look in this mill piece, here it is separate, and adding a simple rotation script to it would completely change the game's mood and make it feel more alive. And another example here is this bell. We can see that it is a separated object, so we can animate it as well. And this could improve the game experience. And another thing that I'm noticing here is we have some windows. And for this one, it's together with the building, but here this other one, it's separated. So we have a separated glass material from the building. And the problem is that we can see the interior and it's not good. It's grass, the floor, it's empty. So what we can do is change the glass opacity so we can not see what is inside, and this can help us to keep the world more, I don't know, believable. And if we take time to pay attention to the trees, we have more than one model in the scene. And this is a good sign. It's good because trees are the kind of models that we reuse across projects. So if you are thinking about creating another game in a different context, timeline, I don't know, but it's still low poly style, well, players won't notice a medieval tree or something like that. And here we can see that we have 10 different 3D options. Not only that, we have a really well organized folder structure with variations, and this can be really useful when you combine with, I don't know, maybe prefab word builder or any preferred or word building or word design plugin. Again, reinforcing the importance of separation of models, we can see that the cart here is a single piece and this won't allow us to rotate the wheels. And to be fair, it's not that hard to separate the wheels from the model, but it is an effort after all. And one last thing I noticed here is the lamps. They are using a single material, and this can be a problem if we want our game to be set at night. Because if we want the lamps to emit lights at night, the easy solution is to apply an emissive material to the bright part of the lamp. And a workaround that I can think of is maybe creating a primitive shape and adding this emissive material to cover this bright part. But it's not super critical, it's just a thing that we need to do if you want to use a night scenario. I could clearly see myself creating an RTS using this package, or even a third-person action RPG, but for a first-person game perspective, I need another package for the building interiors. I can only think of one amazing project from that guy, Tom from Sockpop. That was some kind of Skyrim-like game, but in a low-poly pixelated screen with a deep atmosphere. I will put in the video so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. And to summarize, it's a good and clean package, but it's hard to build an entire game using only this package. It starts making sense once you consider other packages from the same creator, Just Create. It has a consistent style, clean, low poly style. I even created a course using the dungeon package, and it's really solid work. As a package on its own, I'd give 5 stars, no problem. But from a game dev perspective, considering my day-to-day needs, I'd say it is a 7 out of 10 in terms of what I can actually do and reuse. The variety of vegetation gained some points with me because I use prefab world builder, so that works great with the package. And from CodeMonkey's video, I've heard about the asset inventory package, and even though I don't have it yet, I can clearly see some of these prefabs going straight into my, low poly catalog. And in that case, I think this package could easily bump up to 7.5 out of 10 score. But guys, overall, this is my honest review. I hope you liked it. I love to hear your thoughts about this package down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!
If you really want to dive deeper into game development, I strongly suggest you take a look at my work. I have excellent courses for both beginners and advanced developers. With over a decade of experience in Unity, I am pretty sure you will find an interesting project on my Udemy page, packed with clear, simple, and thoughtful explanations and analogies. And of course, I also provide one-to-one lessons that you can easily find on my LinkedIn page. Thank you very much for your time. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to boost this channel and receive more and more quality content.